Hello and a warm welcome yet again to this first ever episode of Mandate 24 with Prarthana Hazarika. I'm trying to connect with a very senior journalist. He is Sushanta Talukdar, and people know him for his write-ups, and he's also the editor of nizine.com, and I hope I have pronounced it correctly. I shall try to connect with him again. An invitation has been sent, so let's see if he can connect. So today basically Assam elections are nearing, and Lok Sabha elections will be held in three phases: April 19th, April 26th and May 7th. So Guwahatians will go to vote on the May 7th, and this is going to be very interesting, a battle between the ruling BJP and the Congress. So we have two very important candidates, Mira Barthakur Goswami versus Bijuli, Kalita, Medhi. So let me bring in Sushanta Talukdar. Sushanta Talukdar, can you come online? Bring them on camera. I have added you. You seem to be joining.
Hello.
Yes. Hi.
Yeah, we can connect
Hello.
now.
Yes, absolutely. Good evening and welcome to Mandate 24, Sushanta Talukdar.
Thank
First
you.
of all, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you on my very first episode. And yeah, Bihu is nearing. For Ohomiyas like us, it's the April and May basically is, the Bihu time.
Right.
And we have elections coming in
True.
three phases. April 19th, April 26th, and I think May 7th is most crucial for me as a Guwahatian. Apart
Right.
from being a journalist, I am a civilian and I'm a resident of this particular city. I love my city, Guwahati,
Right.
and we are going to pose on May 7th. So your first thoughts on Mandate 24, when I say Mandate 24, I shall be my conversation will be on the Guwahati constituency. What's your first thought, Sushanta Talukdar?
Thank you, Prarthana, for having me, and thank you for initiating this conversation on, particularly when other constituencies are already in the news. Guwahati hasn't got that limelight as yet, but still, the contest in Guwahati, it has significance because it's a capital city, and
Right.
it's the hub of the political, socio-political developments in the entire Northeast, and we know Northeast is having 98% international borders. So any policies regarding India's neighbor and how to engage with them, all these matters, and then that's why the focus always is on the things development, be it political or otherwise. The focus is always on Guwahati. That's why the representative be elected by the constituency, Guwahati constituency. Of course, Guwahati constituency also doesn't only include the Guwahati city. It also has other areas in beyond the metropolitan boundary, and so. But then five constituencies within this capital city, being a part of this the Lok Sabha constituency, it makes people talk and discuss, not just in the state, also in outside. And see, in the recent period, the poll talk about, or even the media discourse around electing a representative has narrowed down to the performance of the MP, member of parliament, in that particular constituency. Performance in the sense whether development has taken place, implementation of scheme and all. But then the electing a member of parliament is not just about the discussing the role of the MP as regards to performance. These are primarily the job of the state and central government. The elected
Right.
representative is a lawmaker. So as a
Yes.
lawmaker, how our representative is going to perform, that is important. No, now so that so the Guwahati would be looking forward to someone, that a lawmaker who can connect the issues of Guwahati to the laws made on the floor of the parliament, laws amended
Yes.
on the floor of the parliament, laws discussed and new laws brought in the floor of the parliament. That's why
Did we
this.
really witness these, elected representatives in the past,
Yes.
speaking up and taking up the greater issues of Guwahatians, issues of the city in the House of Parliament? Did we really
No,
see that the past
no,
elected representatives were really successful? Did they really raise their voice? Do you think that?
no, not really, because we have seen Guwahati has ranked 97 in the rank of smart cities, 100 smart cities. No,
Absolutely. Yeah.
so what was the role of the representative from the Guwahati? What intervention that representative had made to
Yes.
improve the ranking? No, and
Mhm.
similarly, the Guwahati city is suffering from the problem of the water scarcity. Still, 30% of the city population is provided pipe water supply, and the rest 70% do not have access to pipe water supply, and they are to dependent on either to purchase it from private suppliers, tankers,
Yes.
water
Yes.
tankers, and or at an exorbitant price, or to invest in sinking a bore well and then drawing water from, due to which the
Right.
water table
Yes.
has gone down. But then these are the issues that are connected with the lawmaking process in the parliament, and in various discussion in course of the union budget, presentation of the union budget, the discussion on the union budget, various
Hmm.
parliamentary devices of raising a questions, then initiating a discussion on, and then parliamentary standing committees and all very different parliamentary discourse devices are there available, but we haven't seen in the past, say for last three consecutive terms, we have seen it's being represented by a member of a ruling party, but then or also in the opposition, but that issues they have not figured. But at the same time, I must clarify, the Guwahati, the MP from the Guwahati Lok Sabha is not just concerned about the Guwahati city, also has to care about other five constituencies that also extends to the boundaries beyond the metropolitan boundary. The other, the Kamrup, Golpara district, no,
Hmm.
and even
Hmm.
the city suburbs on the other side. So when we look at the issues raised by uh, the candidates, and since we have seen that now these 2024 elections, it's being seen as primarily as a contest led by the BJP-led NDA and the Congress-led India alliance. Although that
Yes.
India alliance could not be formed, or they could reach a seat adjustment or understanding, but still the Aam Aadmi Party candidate withdrawing from the fray, it
Hmm.
finally it appears, but nomination process is yet to take place. But so we are yet to see if it is a it's a direct contest or any multi-cornered contest. That will depend on after the completion of the nomination process. But still, apparently, it is the fight primarily in the campaigning process. It is primarily the fight between the Congress candidate and the BJP candidate.
Yes.
So,
Is it
and
going to be Mira Barthakur
yes,
or Bijuli? Because when it comes to the candidates, Mira Barthakur, we can say we have seen her, we have heard a lot of time about her. She's been in this industry, in this political arena for quite some time now. But Bijuli Kalita Medhi, when suddenly when her name popped up, there were a lot of people who were asking, like, who is Bijuli Kalita Medhi, the candidate, the ruling BJP's candidate for this constituency? So, is it going to be difficult for Bijuli Kalita Medhi to really give a fight against, I would say, I won't say a veteran, but somebody who is an experienced person like Mira Barthakur Goswami, who knows the, the ABCD of election, the ABCD of, elections and politics? What is your take on this?
No, I mean, it doesn't only depend on the candidate alone, because you must have observed that Bijuli Kalita Medhi also has a long political career in the organization, in the ruling the BJP, and she was also a mayor and had taken that means taken part in this, familiar with the electoral process, and being a leader in vice president, and also she led the BJP's women wing in the front leadership. So they are aware of the electoral process. No? That should not be a hurdle. I don't think that should be a hurdle for a candidate fielded. Yes, from the perception of the electors, that it might take some time for the BJP candidate to establish contact as a candidate. But then the BJP also has its own organization at the grassroots, and the organization has consolidated over the period. So essentially, it is not only the candidate, and primarily in a parliamentary constituency, it is not always easy for the candidate to reach out to each and every the majority electors in that constituency. Maybe we'll be touching the assembly segments and the primary key centers, but then to be known immediately to all the electors, it's very difficult. But in assembly constituency, it may be easier because the area, geographical area is less, and you get time to get connected to the candidate. So because of the organizational base, it should not be any difficult for Bijuli Kalita Medhi to establish, they reach out to voters in the way they want. There are also star campaigners for the parties. So that is also, that is also going to help. Yes, assembly segment wise, it may have different perception for the electors. Mira Barthakur being seen in action and being an active in her activities on the social media.
Yes.
So she is known, and that has an advantage immediately as a candidate.
Of late, Mira Barthakur Goswami is quite active on social media, and she's trying to connect with everyone, with the voters through her social media accounts. And she has also, I was going through some of the articles about both the candidates, and after a thorough research, and Mira Barthakur have come up with certain issues, like when asked about, the biggest issue the Guwahatians or our constituency people are facing is a safe drinking water facility, which also you raised up, and safety of women, also flood being an issue, pollution being an issue in the city, in the capital city. When I was reading about Bijuli Kalita Medhi, when she was being asked a lot of questions about women's safety, is Guwahati safe? She says, like, Guwahati is really safe under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, under the Chief Minister, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma. Also, water supply issue, when that was raised with her, when asked about the safe drinking water facilities, she said, Guwahatians are already having that facility. And artificial flooding is not an issue in Guwahati anymore. It can be kind of reduced at any moment. People work day and night to reduce the problem during artificial flood issue during summers. And so Bijuli Kalita seemed to be extremely, riding with the success of the party, the BJP party. Do you think this time also, last time during election, we saw the Modi factor, the Modi wave, like we say, in all the rallies that was held here. We saw that wave. So do you think for Bijuli Kalita Medhi, this is not going to be a very tough one? And she might also ride on that BJP, Prime Minister Modi's wave and Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma's wave?
No, see, nomination of Bijuli to replace the sitting MP itself reflects that there was an anti-incumbency growing against the BJP in this particular constituency, and also 4 other constituencies where sitting MPs have been replaced with new candidates, even the minister, current union minister. So Bijuli Kalita Medhi, of course, will have to fight that anti-incumbency that grew in the against BJP in this seat. And yes, it's already 10 years, 2 terms. So and anti-incumbency is also growing against the ruling alliance at the center. But
Right.
to demolish that perception that is being shaped by the opposition in the alliance and also other groups, they
Right.
raise the stake, and BJP is going to this poll as Modi versus others. They're not asking vote even for the BJP. They're asking for vote in the name of Prime Minister Modi. So apparently it is clear that the BJP candidates will have to heavily rely on the Modi factor, Modi's name. No? And this also reflects that somewhere the party is facing a challenge from the emergent political situation, as well as the issues like unemployment, then price. All these issues have created hurdles for the party in the way of a smooth ride. And so for Bijuli Kalita Medhi, it's apparently she's fighting the anti-governmency growing in that was felt in the constituency, which led to replacing the sitting BJP MP. And even if she finds it difficult, then the BJP thinks that probably the Modi factor, Modi guarantee, that will bail her out. But then we will all have to wait for what people are thinking. But then that the opposition parties joining hands, and also supporters, if they join hands, then certainly it is going to be a interesting close battle to be watched.
So, like you said, what people want. If I may ask you, what do people want? What are they going to vote for? Who are they going to vote for? What are they looking into it? What are the issues Guwahatians are looking at it? And Guwahati constituency is always, always unpredictable.
No, see, the Guwahati has both urban and rural segments, and therefore the issues, the demands, and the aspirations are different from segments to segments and area to area. Particularly in Guwahati city, as we have already discussed, the issues are already there about the Guwahati being having pipe water supply to every household. Then the city being developed as free from all traffic congestions. Efficient urban transport system, and then it growing as a city, as a hub, really as the hub of the India's Act-East engagement with the neighboring countries under the Act-East policy and the neighborhood first policy. some extent it is also happening now. But then the aspirations of the people in the city, they would like to see the city to be a clean city. It ranks 400 and it's at the 402nd position to 402 position in among 444 cities with more than 1 lakh population in cleanliness ranking. So for the urban residents, particularly in those in the 5 constituencies within the metropolitan boundary, they will have the issues like urban efficient transport, good mobility solution, and pipe water drinking water supply. Then Guwahati growing as a international hub, and the issues of the women's safety. Then you have all other the waste disposal. Say Guwahati city generates 550 tons of solid waste every day, and the city processes only 7.2%, 7.5 tons. No? So it's more than entire garbage keeps on accumulating at the dump sites, and then it also affects the dumping sites being near the Ramsar site, Deeporville. It is also affecting the water quality. It's polluting the water. It's adding to the pollution level in the city. No, due to cutting up for the city, the loss of greenery, then artificial flood, waterlogging, then pothole roads, which we have seen that also led to death of students and other citizens in the city in the recent past. So for all these issues are there for the citizens, city residents, and then for the outside the city, in other areas, in the rural areas, the Guwahati being the center where people migrate to from other areas in the state in search of livelihood, in search of employment opportunities. So the floating population is also increasing, and so the other the parts of the Guwahati, the Lok Sabha constituency, they too want a good the transportation system, but because of the rise of
how do you think, talking about the young voters, the first-time voters, the young population, they also are a big factor, a huge factor. How do you think the young voters will be looking into certain issues? How do you think the young voters will choose their candidate? And also, do you think it is going to be easier for both the women candidates to woo the young population?
Yes, as young population in that constituency also, I just was referring to it, like the migration to that is taking place from the other the parts of the state, and it's primarily your youth, unemployed youth who have come to the city to work in the service sector. They have come for quality education, obtaining quality education, and work in the service sector. But then while working in the service sector, they are finding they are facing the problem of accommodation. So they have been compelled to move to the hills, look for a place where they can have low cost accommodation, but they face uncertainty and facing the uncertainty of being evicted at any point of time. So they want a secured accommodation in return of the service they provide to the citizens. Without them, you're not going. The Guwahati is not going to function. The malls, the hospitals, the eateries, the hotels, all these, you need the people who will provide you service. The apartments that are coming up, multi-story apartments,
Right.
then you have the security staff. So all these are being filled by the youth migrating from the rest of the constituencies within the Lok Sabha, Guwahati Lok Sabha, as well as from other places. So their aspirations will be in other forms. So when the candidate, we have seen for the opposition, it's the Congress candidate, Mira Barthakur, she has been raising this issue of unemployment. But yes, and also the question of gig workers. You have seen now because of the organized trade sector collapsing, and then the employment has become uncertain, and then this youth have the gig workers are the new identity of the youth, not only in Assam, in the city, all over the country. So the gig workers who sometimes develop as well as a student or working in some sector to earn, or in the service sector, and also catering to your courier service, or your food aggregators, or the traffic aggregators. So they also need the security to their life. They not need any security about their the working conditions. So the people are so aspirations for the youth will vary from quality education, good accommodation, secured accommodation, to service conditions, secured service conditions, where they will be able to lead a better life, normal life. See, for the young girls pursuing higher education, they don't have hostels, enough hostel accommodation. They need to go for PG or in rented house, where their cost goes up, and sometimes it is not possible for their family to
Cost
bear.
of living is really high.
Yeah,
Yes, cost of living is high for them.
For their parents to support their higher education, and they finally they cannot fully devote their time only in education, so they have to also give time in earning, and then splitting their time in education and in providing services, so to get earning, and so that they fund their education. So these are also the issues. And
Young
but
population will be looking into it.
when you raise these issues, you also need to, the candidate also need to provide them a clear picture, how the situation is going to change when when they are going to be elected to the parliament, what role they are going to perform in the parliament, how they are going to take part in the parliamentary discourse, no? Or through various devices to change the situation. Mere raising the issue is not going to convince them about.
So we have always seen, the Guwahati constituency. We have seen a majority. A lot of time, I won't say majority. A lot of time, there have always been women candidates, and very, very strong candidates. So being a woman, I think safety and security of women within the city and also in the other areas, not only in the metropolitan city, is really, really important. We have seen all of a sudden the pink buses was flying in the Guwahati city, and was a great relief for a lot of working women and also other women who used to fly on those pink buses for safety and security. Those services have been cut down now. So being women, both of them are women candidates, really strong candidates, coming from strong backgrounds, good political backgrounds. So what can the women of these constituency expect from these two candidates, and why are they going to vote for either Mira Barthakur Goswami or Bijuli Kalita? Medhi, what is your take on this?
Yes, the women's safety in Guwahati and other places is a issue, because
against women have been rising.
It's rising. It's rising, and then we haven't seen any effective measures by the administration, the police, and as well as by the government to improve the situation. And so they will listen to both the candidates. They will listen to both the candidates, and certainly this issue will be there. There will be always in the mind of the electors. But then sometimes some issues get overshadowed with some issues, other issues. So we will have to watch what issues get priority for the candidates as well as for the electors.
My last question to you: how would you predict this Guwahati Lok Sabha constituency? Like, is it going to be a high voltage one? Is it going to be a neck to neck contest, a huge battle between these two ladies, these two women?
See, I don't want to stick my neck out because Indian elections are getting complicated every day, and because voters have become more conscious, and then they have priorities that changes over time period. No, there are also other factors which influence them. We have already seen the media, majority media being almost running a campaign in favor of the ruling party. So it creates a perception. So it's very difficult to predict. But then it will be, we will see a close contest, close battle. That's my take immediate as of now. But then in electoral politics, the things change a lot during the run up to the poll. No? As campaign picks up. So we will have to wait how the campaigning takes place, who are the star campaigners, what are the issues they are going to flag, they are going to raise, and how people receive the issues. All these factors will have to be taken into factor. But as of now, going by the campaigning, initial campaigning done by the two candidates, it seems to be, and the overall political mood of the country, it is going to be a very close poll battle in Guwahati.
On that note, Sushanta Talukdar, thank you so much for giving me an insight of the very, very important Guwahati constituency, the battle between the two women, and from very strong, background, political background. It's either Mira Barthakur Goswami or Bijuli Kalita Medhi. Thank you so much for giving me your time, and I shall catch you again on Mandate 24 with Prarthana Hazarika. So friends, that was Sushanta Talukdar, a very, very well-known senior journalist, somebody who is always eager to kind of, give his opinion and help people like us. And I'll catch you again, Sushanta Talukdar. On that note, thank you so much. So there you heard it from my political analyst, Sushanta Talukdar, what he said. There are major issues that needs to be taken up, and Guwahatians need to vote correctly, and they need to understand the needs, their own needs. There are young population who are watching this live, and you need to understand what you want, what are the needs, and are your candidate going to speak about you, about your issues in the parliament in the days to come after his or her win? That's really, really important. I'll catch you again on Mandate 24 with Prarthana Hazarika. I hope you enjoyed this live broadcast as much I enjoyed speaking with my guest Sushanta Talukdar. Thank you once again. Goodbye.